friends, my name is Kay Clanton and I'm here to discuss the backpacking equipment that I took on the West Clear Creek backpacking trip. I had some friends reach out, they said they were interested, so I'm making this video, so stay tuned. So I took this backpack, it's the Greger Mavin 65 liter, and this is my go-to, my favorite pack. There are some features on this backpack that I just have come to really adore. First thing, we'll talk about the frame. So it has this lovely mesh back panel, and the shoulder straps are, of course, adjustable to your torso length. The shoulder straps are very well padded, the back is padded, and it has a wrap-around, very well padded hip belt. These side pockets are actually pretty small. You can get your snacks and stuff in there, but as all of these commercial backpacks are, the pockets are way too small. I think at least one of these pockets ought to be big enough to accommodate a cell phone, and neither of these pockets do that. The other thing I love about this backpack is the brain. The brain of this backpack has these double zipper system, but it's a very deep pocket, and the zipper goes all the way around. So it makes it very easy to access the stuff in the back. Most of the brain pockets that you see have this little tiny zipper like this. So it makes it hard to dig around and see inside that little tiny pocket to get whatever you have to get out of there. So I love the way this opens up. When it sits on the pack, it's nice and flat, and it's, you know, like 3 inches deep. A little bit deeper on the back end and a little bit narrow on the front end, but it's just an amazing pocket. I really like it. It's one of the best features on this backpack. So the other thing I like about this backpack is it came with a small day pack. And I love this because I use this to put my clothes in on trips where you're gonna backpack into an area and then set up camp and then explore different places from that main camp, because you can just, once you set up camp, you just dump your clothing out of it, and it accommodates a bladder. You put your snacks in here and your water, whatever you need for that day trip, and you're off to the races. I just love the feature of having this little day pack that comes with this. I believe this backpack also came standard with the rain fly, or the rain protector. I don't ever use those. I usually use an internal sack, you know, the composter bag. The other thing I like about this backpack was that it came with these loops and this strap that is removable. And the fact that it's removable, it just has this loop that you feed through itself to add it on to the backpack, which I'm not going to do. And so if you're adding an extra tent or an extra sleeping pad or whatever you're taking on the trip and it needs to be on the outside, you have these straps that can do that. If you're not using it, don't need the extra space, you take them off. Love that. So this backpack is about 5 years old, and as you can see, the mesh pockets have really taken a beating. They're still functional, but they're getting pretty ratty. And they don't make this backpack anymore. Like I said, I had this one like 5 years. In spring of 2022, they reintroduced the backpack and they made some changes to it. And this is it. This is also a Mavin 65 liter backpack. It has the same mesh pockets that take a beating. Have several holes in these. It has of course, the pocket. Both of the packs have this pocket that you can put the water bottle in through the front, so they're easy accessible. The pockets are a little bit bigger in this backpack, but they still will not accommodate my cell phone. I think they tried to lighten this pack by using a different type of foam, and this foam, it just doesn't seem to be as padded or as comfortable as my other backpack. It seems thinner and not as comfortable. The other thing they did was they put a zipper. They put a zipper in the side of the pack so you can access stuff on the inside. I I don't like that feature, I don't use that feature. I think that zippers are a place for things to fail, and when it's, you know, not a straight zipper, it's kind of curved around the back, and it takes stress when you're packing stuff into this bag. And so that's a place for this bag to fail and render the backpack useless. So I do not like this added zipper. The other thing that they did was they sewed these straps in, so they're no longer removable, which was a feature I really liked on the other backpack. The other thing about this Grainger Maven 65 backpack is they no longer give you the little day pack that goes on the inside. I do believe they give you a rain cover for this backpack, which I never use. I always use just a contractor's bag on the inside of the backpack to keep my belongings dry. So if you're in the market for a backpack, this is a good backpack. I still like it, but I think the original version was better. Next thing I want to talk about is my sleep system. So as you saw in that pack, I carried 2 of these accordion styled closed cell foam pads. One of these is for me, and one of these is for the dog. This is a Wolf Walker pad. I think it's a cheap Amazon sleeping pad. They're about 30 bucks, I think, on Amazon. I believe I got this from Amazon too, but I want to say this is a Nemo brand sleeping pad, but there's no name on it, and I bought it so long ago, I don't know. This is probably 7 years old. And the reason that I use one for myself is that I live in Arizona, where everything will poke you, prick you, or stick you. And so I use that underneath my inflatable pad to protect it from getting poked by any sticks or cactus or that kind of thing. Living in Arizona, it's a hazard having all the poke you, prick you, or stick yous. This is a Helix insulated pad. It has a 4.9 R value, 72 inches long by 24 by 3. This is the regular wide version. This pad has been my go-to for the last year and a half or so. I really like this pad. It's comfortable. It's a little bit softer than some of them that I've used on Side Sleeper. And so I find that my hip sinks in a little bit, but not enough to touch the floor. And my shoulder as well. It's just comfortable the way that it conforms to your body. I would highly recommend this pad. And my pillow I used on this trip was the Climate X pillow. I think this came free with something I bought from Climate, and it's a pretty good pillow. Nothing super fancy. It worked. And then my quilt. So on this trip, I took a 25-degree Zenbivy bed. So this Zenbivy is a really nice pad. I like the fact that it comes with a sheet that basically covers your sleeping pad, and then the quilt fastens in through these little snaps and these little hoops. And I just find this to be a super comfortable. There no air, no drafts get in, and I love the Zenbivy concept. I like the hood on the sheet part because you put your pillow in there and your pillow doesn't slide around at night. And this is what I took, and I would highly recommend these. I know that they're expensive, but they do go on clearance, usually around Christmas time, where you can get spectacular deals if you're paying attention to their website. And because I didn't pay full price for this, I got it on one of their clearance deals, and it was one of the best purchases I ever made. I really like this system. So the last thing I have here is my tent. This trip I took this REI Quarter Dome Super Light 2. I always have to take a 2-person tent because when you have 3 dogs, then you gotta have room for them. So the 2-person tent is what I took. This is 2 pounds 8 ounces. This is the type of tent that is semi-freestanding, so you have to peg the foot end out with some guidelines. It's an 80 by 52 at the head end and 42 by 38 at the foot end. But I've had this tent going on 3 years now, and it's been a spectacular tent. It's lighter weight than most, but REI does not make this tent anymore. The comparison, this would compare to the Big Agnes Tiger Wall. Very, very similar tents. And I highly recommend this tent if you could buy it anymore. If you happen to see one used, I would recommend. They're fairly light, easy to set up, and it's been super durable. And that's a wrap on this gear review video of the stuff I took on that last trip, at least the big three. My next video is going to be about the dogs' equipment and what they took and carried. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for that video. Please like and subscribe. I'm a brand new channel, so I need those subscribers. I'll see you all in the next one.